Sunday Night Natters, episode 19, Ireland Part 5. Is there a subsection?
No.
Good.
But it's all new.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
it's not all new. But
There's
there's bits.
yeah, we've had a bit of a freshen up, haven't we? Well, we haven't. We just at the same.
And we do want feedback on this freshen up, don't we?
Yes.
So, right. Anyway.
Yes.
So, yes, episode 5, Ireland.
Yep.
It's coming towards the end.
Yes, and we've moved to sort of southern edge of County Sligo.
Yep.
A site called Lough Arrow Touring Park.
That was adult only, wasn't it?
It was. It's one of the very few in Ireland, adult only.
Was it English owned?
It was, yes. Changed hands now, so I don't know who's. No. Terry and Mary, because they set it up from scratch, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They were there a long while, weren't they?
17, 18 years, I think.
Yeah,
17 years when we was there, which is what, 4 years ago nearly.
It's a great site. Obviously, you'll put the pictures coming out the window this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about the location this week. It's wet out there.
Yeah, it's pretty miserable, isn't it? In fact, it started raining just as I finished work, and it hasn't stopped.
No.
So,
anyway, yes, Lough Arrow, great adult-only site. How many pictures?
Just 30.
And it's got everything, isn't it?
Well, if you're lucky, I mean, it is literally next to Lough Arrow. There's just a road in between, so if you're lucky enough to pitch that side, you get views over the loch.
Yep.
We weren't, but
no.
we pitched at the back where you get views over the valley. Which was equally as pretty.
Do you know what I mean? So even if you don't get loch views, you get valley views, and it was a beautiful valley all the way out. I don't think we've got any pictures of that, unfortunately.
Not sure. We'll have to have a look.
We'll have to have a look. But
if I get them on, yes,
put them up there. Right. Anyway, we had what I can only describe as a really great time at this site.
Yes.
We chose to stay here nearly 2 weeks, hadn't we?
Yeah, this was sort of the relaxing bit of our
the trip.
8 weeks off, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was. We decided because and it was also what we assumed would be sort of like the prime school holiday time.
Yes, yeah.
We didn't realise that
they had 12 weeks off.
12 weeks off.
Yeah.
But so we decided to spend 2 weeks here, relaxing.
Yeah.
Doing a bit of sightseeing, but
generally chilling out
and sitting on the jetty. And yes, it did work like that because we had beautiful summer days.
Yes, we did.
And then we also had beautiful autumn days.
And we had some very wet days too.
Yes,
but I did manage to get sunburnt, didn't I?
You did,
yeah.
you did. Sitting on the jetty,
one and only time.
Yeah, sitting on the jetty. We used to meet this beautiful dog down there called Lucy.
Yeah.
The
retriever. Yeah.
And her owner.
She used to go for a swim, didn't she?
She used
the
to
dog
love it.
was, yeah.
Yeah, she used to love it, didn't she? She used to run in and get the stick, and she just wouldn't give up, would she? She just kept, constantly doing it. He was a fisherman. He had a season on there, didn't he?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And didn't he say to us that the fishing had not been very good this year?
No, in fact, even we'll come to the pub we're going to talk about, but the general consensus was the fish weren't having any of it, were they?
No, they weren't. No. It was a very, very bad season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But going back to the site, I can only describe the facilities as the best that we found in Ireland.
Very much so, yeah. Beautiful showers. No slot meters this time.
No. It was
very
more
spacious.
English run.
Yes, it was. So it was more what you'd expect from
an English
what we're used to. Yeah.
UK site, should I say.
Yeah.
So, they were.
Lovely facilities, spacious, plenty of them too.
There was washing machines, dryers.
Yeah,
we did,
and there's a huge rotary dryer outside as well, weren't you?
Yeah.
Isn't there? So
there is also a communal lounge.
Yep, the club room.
Club room, if you want to sit in there and watch television.
TV,
books, library and everything in there, weren't there?
Nice little log burner as well for the cooler months.
I think we went there one night and they had a good old chinwagger of all, didn't we?
And that was when we realised how much repeat business they do. I mean, it was clearly a very popular site because there's people who've been coming here for years, and it was just like one big family, wasn't it? It was fantastic.
It really was, and we had a good night over there, didn't we? That night. We also, because we should mention that it's a B&B.
Yes.
She's got 2 rooms.
Yes, I think so. Yep.
And also because she's doing B&B, she's doing breakfast.
Yep.
So anyone staying there with a caravan,
you can have a cooked breakfast too, which
and
we did.
We did that as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
And it's a very nice breakfast as well.
Yes.
It's a very nice.
Yeah, it was
breakfast.
good. Yeah.
They're a lovely couple, actually, aren't they?
Yes.
Well, I'm hoping that the new people are just as good.
Looking at the website, it looks like they've continued a lot of the things that Terry and Mary used to do.
And I believe the new owners are also British.
I don't know.
I thought you looked it up and they were British.
Did I? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, they're British. Possibly.
Possibly. But they was also saying on their website that they are great walkers and they've got dogs.
Yes.
And part of they've been sort of like
going out, walking,
planning routes for people.
For varying lengths,
So please, dog lovers, look at this site as well, because the owners are specialising in dog walks around the locks and inland and everything else, aren't they? And it's a great area. It's a great area for that. So
nice, well-stocked shop as well.
Got Wi-Fi as well, haven't it?
I got Wi-Fi, yes.
Yeah. And the shop, as you just mentioned.
Yeah, I remember as we was in and out there for ice creams. And biscuits fairly regularly, all the caravanning staples. Yeah.
And we're going to come to the pub later, but that's only just down the road, isn't it? But we'll come to that later. Yeah. I believe the owner, what was his name? Des.
Yeah.
No. The site owner.
Oh, Terry.
Terry, we used to meet down the pub.
Well, whenever we was in there, he was there as well.
Wasn't he? So you know, but yeah, so it's a great site, and you know. Anyway, that's the site. We're going to have our interlude.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Now, we started this interlude last week, and you may wonder what it was all about.
Yeah.
Well, I think now you're going to see what our interlude is all about. Our interlude, because we have to do it for this camera business, don't we?
Yeah.
Right, the interlude from now on is going to be...
It's going to be other vloggers or bloggers introducing themselves and their channel.
Yep.
So we know what they do.
So
and it's just basically a chance for us to give them a shout out.
Yeah. So we're not going to do the shout outs anymore.
No,
they're going to do it.
Yeah, we make them do the work.
Yeah. So basically, we're asking them to join us on a Sunday Night Natters.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you'll see we've got Caravan Nut.
The Caravan Nut.
Yeah, Martin.
Yeah.
He is doing the first one tonight.
Yeah. So
you'll all get the gist of what we're looking for you to do for us to give yourself a shout out on Sunday Night Natters.
Yes.
And join us in a way. So anyway,
so you've got to stop rabbiting now and let people actually see what we're talking about.
So shall we now go to the new interlude?
Hello. When you finish watching Sunday Night Natters, why not pop over to my channel, the Caravan Note. Set the channel up with the aim of documenting all our caravanning holidays and any jobs we made during the caravan. We've been caravanning now for over 5 years. We're family from Bolton, and you can follow us on our travels. What can you see on the channel? On the channel we'll be doing site reviews of all the places that we go to. I will also be doing product reviews of things that we buy for the caravan. On the channel at the moment there are lots of hints and tips for caravanners of all levels of experiences. So there it is, the Caravan Note. Why not pop over and have a look after this? Rich and Trevor put links below to the YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of Sunday Natters. Thanks to Legs Down for their continued support. Bye bye.
Right. Okay, well thank you Martin.
Yes,
for that.
Thanks for that. Yep.
And hopefully you can all start sending us clips just like that. We don't want them more than a minute long, do we?
No, 30 seconds to a minute would be good. Yeah.
You know,
otherwise there's less time for you to rabbit, isn't it? We can't have that, can we?
So contact Richard. He'll put.
Yeah, if you leave a message, a comment below, or message me on through Twitter or Facebook,
and we'll make contact with a few of you to start this ball rolling.
Yeah.
But yeah, please join in. Give yourself a shout on our channel, which is all here for everyone.
Yes.
And we'll put it out in our new interlude. Anyway, let's carry on because we did a bit of travelling there.
Yes, in between the sunbathing and slapping on the after sun. Yeah.
So what we went? Obviously, it's near Sligo.
Yeah.
So we went to Sligo.
I looked around Sligo. Nice walk alongside the river there. But if I recall, it was looking as if it had been through. Yeah, because hard times, a bit like Waterford, wasn't it?
Yeah, we'd been to Sligo before.
Oh, many years ago.
Years ago, but it looked a bit more depressed because remember we're going back a few years ago now to when this tour took place.
Yeah, 2014.
2014, and obviously that was like just after the banking crash, and Ireland was in. So Sligo was looking a bit, not disheveled, but it looked as if it was going through some hard times.
Seen better times, exactly. Sadly.
But it's a nice town, isn't it? And you're in County Sligo, so you go to Sligo.
Yeah.
Anyway, the other we should talk about the nearest town.
Yeah, it was Boyle.
which is only just up the road, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a drive round to the either end of the lake.
Yeah.
And we probably should say that's the only possible downside to the site is it is on a single track road. You have to get from either end of the lake, don't you? And it's about 4 or 5 miles.
Well, anyone who's been to the Lake District or up into Scotland,
yeah, we'll be well used to it.
Well used
because
to
that
it.
was sort of the first site really where we'd encountered that sort of road, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's similar to going round, say, Lough Arrow or you know.
But again, take your time and
it's very enjoyable.
So anyway, Boyle, yes, had a wander around there. They've got the Abbey too.
Yeah.
It's perhaps not something we'd normally have done.
Well, we'd have looked at it from the outside because it's very attractive. But they charge just
again,
a couple of euros.
Sensible admission fee.
Yeah.
And so they got at least 2 more customers or visitors than they would have done.
It's not massive, is it? But it's because you're only paying a couple of euros. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I'm sure it was only a couple of euros. We went in and had a good mooch around, didn't we?
Yeah.
And it was well worth it.
Very interesting.
It was very well worth that. And the town itself is what you can only describe as a little inland.
I suppose we call it a market town, wouldn't we, in Britain?
You know, anyway, we found a great pub there to eat, didn't we?
Yes, well, that was our second choice, if you remember, because we'd been recommended a place, I think it was at the southern end of the lake.
Yeah, well, the southern end of the loch
of the Lough Arrow, yeah.
And yes,
a beautiful location and
stunning views.
Yeah, and prices to match, wasn't it?
And so we are a bit of a skinflint, so we had a beer.
So we headed into Boyle, found this pub, had a cracking meal, great value, usual friendly Irish service.
And all the locals were there enjoying it, weren't they? And you could tell it was a real locals type place, weren't it?
Always always the best places to pick,
Didn't they make us welcome?
Yeah, they did, yeah.
You know, this is the one thing that I will get excited about in Ireland.
Yeah, over Ireland we found this.
And you know, they really did give us a warm welcome, didn't they? They really did. Anyway, we went out, you know, very often for a few drives. So where was next? You know,
Ross's Point.
Oh, I remember that.
Right out by the coast there. Cracking drive along the estuary. Do you remember that road that ran along the side there?
Yeah.
And there was also that caravan park.
Yeah.
There, which we did contemplate staying at.
We did before we
beautiful site, beautiful views, but probably catches a lot of wind as well, I imagine.
That's right. Yeah.
But that's a lovely drive out there.
We had a cup of tea there, just at the side of that.
Yes, I think we did. Yeah,
we did, and there was a little cafe there, weren't there?
Yeah,
I'm sure we did.
Yeah,
somewhere there. Yeah, it's you could mull away the hours for you know on that little harbour entrance there, or river entrance there.
Watch the one go by for hours there.
So that's worth a drive out. We often had a drive in various directions round the lake.
There's lots of smaller lakes
yeah,
around there, and I think sort of one morning or something we just had a casual drive round.
Yeah, we did.
And again, the views are just wonderful, aren't they?
And do you remember the drive as well? It was quite hairy because where our caravan was situated on the site, we looked out on this valley.
Oh, that single track road that went up the
and
across
the valley, we could see this high point, couldn't we? And we decided to venture up there.
That's right.
And try and take a picture of the caravan.
Yeah, drove to the southern end, didn't we?
Yeah,
and then
we
went
did.
round and up.
Well, it was frightening. Well, it weren't frightening, but you know, the
really
road weren't much
was a
more
farm,
than this table.
It was a farm track, wasn't it?
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah.
But we got up there.
Yeah.
There was people living up there. There was some stunning houses, weren't there? And we could pick out the caravan site, couldn't we?
Yeah.
I don't think our Zoom really.
I didn't have the bigger lens, did
I?
But,
but we could see it, and I think we did take a shot of it in the dew. But we might not put it on there because it's not that good a photo, is it? But yeah, that was a stunning drive around there.
Yeah.
Didn't we find a hotel complex up there as well?
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
It was like this luxury.
Pretty exclusive, I would imagine.
It was, wasn't it? Because we drove in and it felt expensive before we got through the gate, didn't it? If I remember. And that had got stunning views. And I think it was one of these specialised wedding events and, you know, type places. But yeah, that was great round there. So, we've got to talk about as well, another little place we went to.
Waving your finger at me.
I'm sorry. It's because I want to drink. Was Ballymena? Ballina.
Yep. Good friend Kevin comes from there. So we thought we'd have a drive and give it a look. You got the river there. The old fishermen were there, waving their tackle about, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. They were salmon fishing, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and we went to
quite a busy little town, actually, wasn't it?
It was, wasn't it? And with this friend of ours, we often joke about him that, you know, he's got more money than sense and everything else. And
not more than sense, but he's got more than us.
He's got a lot more than us. Anyway, when we got into his hometown, it was quite funny, really, because his name is Moran.
Every other business seemed to be Moran butchers, Moran undertakers, obviously. Yeah,
it was just
Moran bakers,
everywhere.
Moran jewellers.
It really was. Anyway, he assured us.
He swore blind that they were nothing to do with him.
Nothing to do with him, but we're still not convinced that he's not heir to an absolute town fortune.
That was a nice place, and I think it was one of the few places who actually struggled for parking, wasn't it? Because I think it might have been a Saturday and it was really busy.
Packed. It was packed. It was packed. And then I couldn't believe how many fishermen there was on that river. That must produce a lot of salmon for the fishermen, because there was an awful lot on it, weren't there? But yeah, I still smile about the Moran Empire when we talk about that place.
Or not, as the case may be.
Anyway, we've got to now talk about
the pub.
The pub.
Yes.
Shall we explain first how we come across the pub?
Well, we passed this building that looked sort of deserted, had a couple of rusting petrol pumps outside.
Up there.
Yep. On the way to somewhere else.
Well, we was going to that pub on the main road.
Yes.
To get something to eat, weren't we? First night.
And we thought, is that open? No, it can't be. So anyway, we had a bite to eat and a Guinness at this other pub and come back, and there were some cars outside and we saw some lights on. Yeah. So I thought,
it is open.
We'll go have a look. And wow.
Yeah, it was. Anyway.
What a fabulous old boozer that was.
We walked in there and we ordered, I can't remember what we even ordered, but it was...
You had a Smithwick's or a Guinness,
something like that. And it was served to us by a lovely lady called Mary.
Yeah.
And honestly, before we left that pub that night, we knew her life's history, didn't we?
We did, yes.
She stood talking to us in between serving other people all night, didn't she?
In fact, I seem to recall you had a bit of trouble getting a word in edgeways, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
It was most unusual.
She was a real character anyway. But she was the only one we saw that night, weren't she?
Yes.
Oh, Terry popped in, didn't he?
That's right, from the side,
Anyway, we ended up there nearly every night, didn't we?
Calling for either one or two or three.
And obviously the locals again, I can't emphasise this, they made us so welcome, didn't they? We used to spend hours chatting there, and wasn't, because we met the son the second night, didn't we?
Connor, oh yes.
Yeah. Again, look at the photo.
Yeah.
Good looking boy. Well, good looking man, actually.
Yeah.
Wasn't he involved in some Olympics?
He'd been over to London for the Olympics,
For the Olympics, that was it.
That's
He'd
right.
been over for the Olympics, hadn't he? So he was full of that, weren't he? And talking about that and his time there and everything else. And he disappointed us a little bit, because then he got talking about his girlfriend, didn't he?
Another dream shattered, never mind.
Never mind. Anyway.
This was more than a pub though, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
We wondered why they kept disappearing out the back.
Yeah.
But that was where the shop was.
Yeah.
And it got meat slice and everything. In fact, we discovered it as a useful source for Jacob's cream crackers. So it's for the post beer nibbles.
It did used to sell petrol.
Yes.
But they no longer do that, do they?
I think they did say there might still be some unleaded down there.
Or
possibly leaded even, if anyone's desperate, but no, they don't generally.
We did talk to him one night as well that the pochang, is it pochang? Poching was very often under the counter in his dad's day. Because Mary had lost her husband and Connor had lost the dad only about 2 or 3 years ago, haven't they? We should also add that this pub actually doubled as the village school.
It did for a while,
when the village school was being renovated, they held...
Because it's got a big function room at the side, isn't it?
They held the lessons in the pub, didn't they?
Yeah.
So it was a pub, it was a shop, it was a garage, and at one time, for a little while, it was actually a school, weren't it? So
but you really got a sense there of that's what pubs used to be like. It was more than just a pub. It was like a real centre of the community, and really very important to that place. And
we've got to also give Seamus a shout.
Yes,
he wasn't very talkative.
He's a man of few words, unlike some I can mention.
But he would potter about serving us, wouldn't he? I think he was a good age. Let's put it that way. But he was a lovely man.
He's always got the Guinness ready as well. He'd seen you when your glass was getting down to about there, and there'd be another one lined up, wouldn't there?
That was the great thing in Ireland. We found out, weren't it? They would always ask you if you were having another one.
Yeah.
before you'd finished the first.
Yeah.
And it weren't to try and encourage you, it was because they like to pour the Guinness,
give it a chance to
settle before you're ready for your Guinness, weren't it?
Yeah.
And they did it everywhere, didn't they? You know, or in these local pubs anyway. So there was the three of them ran this pub. We met some great locals. There was the book writer.
Oh, the guy who was restoring the old Gypsy Caravan. Yes.
Yeah, and he was very
expat.
proud.
Yeah, a lot of expats there, weren't there?
Yeah, there was. And they was... we was interested in them, and they was interested in us because they don't see a huge amount of English caravanning over there, do they?
No.
We found this everywhere, didn't we?
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know why, whether it goes back to the Troubles, I don't know.
Well, I would suspect a lot of it is due to ferry prices because it's an expensive bit of water to cross, and for a lot of people, it's easier to get to France.
Because we met a huge lot of French, didn't we?
Yeah. Dutch,
Germans, everything.
They love it, yeah.
But we didn't meet many English at all, did we?
No.
You know, which was very. There was a few expats and everything, obviously,
who were living there.
Who were living there, but we didn't actually meet many caravans from the UK, did we?
No.
So I can't recommend this pub enough if you're going to go to Lough Arrow.
Yeah.
You've got to go down, and hopefully Mary's still there.
Yeah.
Connor will still be there.
Yeah.
And hopefully Seamus is still there.
Yeah.
Trying to pull a pint, bless him. But it was a great night, weren't it? The other thing, it used to get busier later, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we just often sort of call in for one or two on the way back from somewhere or for a brief. And as we'd be going home, that was the busiest the road's ever got.
Yeah, it was.
Around the lock, when everyone was going to the pub. They used to come out till later, did they?
It to this day, it's still one of the most enjoyable 2 weeks.
Yeah,
visiting
I really,
a pub.
really enjoyed that. Very, very sad to leave that.
We used to look forward to going down there every night, didn't we? And having a chinwag with everybody. And, you know, as I say, I know I keep saying it, but they did. They made
you do keep saying it.
They made us so welcome. They really did. So that was really Lough Arrow.
You keep saying most things, dear.
Anyway, that was basically Lough Arrow.
And our penultimate site in Ireland.
Yeah, so next week...
to Dublin.
We're going to move to Dublin. And we're going to virtually finish the trip next week. Because we stopped at Dublin and then we went on to our friends up in Downpatrick.
Yeah, in the north.
We stayed at our friends. We didn't go on a site, did we?
No.
So that's really it for this.
That's it for Ireland Part 5.
Yeah. But we should now, Richard.
Yes.
We're going to go to the news. The new news.
Right, welcome to the news, which this week comes from my other office, aka College Minibus number 2. It's called a few other things as well, but most of those are not repeatable. It's been a quiet week on the news front for Legs Down. We've just got one thing that's come out this week. That's the site arrival video for Harrogate Caravan Park. We haven't been there ourselves, but Bob and Jenny Earnshaw have, and they've kindly sent us the footage, as they always do. It's just southeast of Harrogate, on the Great Yorkshire Showground. Open from March until November, I think. 66 pitches, mixture of hard standing and grass, electric hookup. Heated washrooms, and it looks like a very nice site. And if you look at the side arrival video, it's very easy to get to as well. Other than that, it's all been quiet. Nothing new on the blog and nothing new on the archive either. But hopefully that will change next week. So that's it for now. Back to the Natter.
Right, that was the news then. Not a lot this week.
No, quite a week. Work. Got in the way, like it often does. Well, the paid job anyway.
I'm just going to add something else to the news because in the last couple of days I put out 2 things, one on Twitter and one on Facebook. On Facebook and Twitter about stable doors on caravans.
Yep.
And I'm really pleased at the response that we've had on these.
It's been quite a lot, hasn't
it? You've still got chance. I think there's 2 more days on the. Well, what time this comes out, there'll be a day left, I think, on Twitter. Yeah. And there'll be a couple of days left on the Facebook page, won't there? So if you go to mine on, what is it, Tubby Star Travels on Twitter, or you go to the Legs Down page
on Facebook,
you can cast your vote on whether you like stable doors. Yeah. So I had to add a bit to the news, didn't I?
Yes, you did, You couldn't let me do it all by myself, could you?
Couldn't. Right. Well, I'm going to let you do this bit by yourself as well. This is another new.
Yes, it is, yes.
You're flying solo tonight, aren't you?
I know.
Bit? Anyway, Richard.
Yes.
Who died?
Yes.
On this week?
Yes.
In history?
Got it.
Got it. That's about the first week I've got it all right, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Anyway, let's go to who died on this week in history.
You didn't have to say it twice. Right, welcome to this week's Diary of the Dead. I'm beginning to feel like Mr. Ben. Been another busy and profitable week for the Planet's Undertakers, but we're going to concentrate on the music industry again this week. First up, someone I know my dad had records of, Perry Como. I think one of the old crooners or something, wasn't he? He died in 2001. Next one is Errol Brown. I think most people have heard of him, Hot Chocolate. I seem to recall Mum liked him a lot, and from the pictures I've seen I can see why as well. I seem to recall he looked particularly good in leather trousers. 2015 he died at the age of 71. Last but certainly not least, Bob Marley. Bob Marley and the Wailers. We lost him in 1981 and he was aged just 36. Died of cancer. So very sad, far, far too young. Just one more I want to mention though, not a musician but a very, very popular sportsman, Seve Ballesteros, died on this week in history in 2011, aged 54. So that's all for this week from Diary of the Dead. See you next time.
Right, that's who died then.
Yes.
It's a, obviously, I remember Errol Brown possibly more than any of the others on there.
Not Perry Como.
No.
You surprised me.
No, and I remember dear old Seve.
Yeah.
I used to love watching Seve.
Yeah.
I
Nice
really
man.
did. But yeah, and I met Errol Brown.
Yes, I know you told me,
Yeah, I met Errol Brown.
Yeah.
He come in my shop in Peterborough.
Was he wearing his leather trousers?
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Baggy old pair of jeans.
Oh, was it?
And a t-shirt.
Dear,
I
oh
think.
dear.
He used to come in there most mornings
Yeah.
when he was playing, because in them days groups used to play at the cinema.
Yeah.
They didn't play big arenas.
No.
They would go to the local cinema, and the Bull Hotel was next to my shop in Peterborough, and the cinema was just round the corner.
Yeah.
And he used to come in for his cigarettes and paper.
All right.
Yeah, so there you go.
Good.
My claim to fame. So that's it for this week.
Yeah. Episode 19 done and dusted.
Yeah. So that's it.
Right. So it's my turn this week. So it's good night from you.
And it's good night for me.
Oh, Christ. Good night.